Hi, my name's Adey, this is my garage, this is my driveway. So today on, well, we could call the episode's driveway built, I guess. We got some braided brake lines to go on, we got some new rear brake pads, and we've got front brake pads. Now, I've gone with yellow stuff. I used to absolutely hate EBC. We're talking like 15 years ago. It was like driving with wooden bricks. But I was recommended the yellow stuff recently, and decided to give them a go on the last brake setup. And to be fair, for fast road, they were absolutely excellent, especially for the price. Black Friday came along. They offered a little deal, so I've ordered front and rear brake pads for the Twingo with all the new uprated brakes on there. Well, I say uprated, the bigger brakes on there. So I've got the Twingo RS rear brakes on there, which I'm pretty sure are the same size caliper and piston as a Clio 197. And then I've got the RS133 front calipers, which are the same as a Laguna. And then I run a bigger caliper carrier and 300mm Renault Scenic discs, but you still retain the same pad. So yeah, the yellow stuff pads front and rear. And then we've got some braided lines to go on, so we'll get all that done today. Take it down the road, get it bedded in, and to be fair, there's not much left to do to the suspension on the car. Well, until I find the next issue. And the brakes are all then uprated and done. Should make for a fun little motor. But anyway, let's get started. So first drive since fitting the pads and lines and bleeding everything, and everything's got a bed in. I think EBC state that they need something along the lines of 50 to 100 miles of normal road driving for the pads to bed into the discs. That's a lot of driving, but we'll give it a quick run down the road and just put some miles on it. Got nowhere to go at the moment. Initially, even straight off the bat, touching the pedal, the bite is near enough instant compared to the standard pads. There's someone just walking across the road, because you know that's what you do. Handbrake up a little bit just to bed them in, I guess. Down the road, initial bite is massively improved on the standard pads. You can see what they're like when they're fully bedded in. Got some actual heat into them. Not sure if they'll actually be good as a dive in with the front pads.
Braking, you can feel it. That's a massive improvement over the standard pads. I mean, to be fair, the standard pads I had in there on the back with whatever came with the calipers, and on the fronts were whatever came with the calipers. I didn't even see a brand name on them. They were probably some £12 brake pads. So these, you can really feel the difference already. Something off to Jez. Hi Jez. Temperature probe. Just dropping it off for you. Jez, put the temp probe in the front seat of the Mr. Pooh, which you should just scrap. Anyway, back to the brake pads. So front and rear pads from EBC Direct, with the Black Friday discounts, were cheaper than a set of DS2500s. Well, cheaper than a set of front pads, front DS2500s. And last time I used those, I wasn't impressed with them at all. On the road, I found a couple of presses they were done. Brake pads, I guess, are quite like suspension, very individual. These are really good, really good. Gonna take some getting used to. Yeah, like I say, brake pads, like suspension, it's quite an individual thing. What one person likes, the other doesn't. I think that's been a worthwhile upgrade. I'll give it a few miles of bedding in, and then re-bleed everything. I run some Type 200 fluid in there. I think that's ATE Type 200, Type 2000. I use that. You get it from Euro car parts. It's not overly expensive. It's pretty good. You know, as the car is a road car, it's a bit hard to justify £200 to £250 on a set of front brake pads, plus some for the rear, plus some, you know, £60 a litre brake fluid when it's a daily driver. The whole point of the car and the whole ethos of the car is driveway built, and done for a budget, and it fucking works really well. So the tyres don't in the wet though, I'll give you that much, and we're on low boost, so really well on the first press. The second press they try and pull the skin off your face, which I think is quite impressive. The bedding in process tends not to overheat them and stuff, so I'm not meant to be really wailing on it, which I'm not. We'll give it a few more miles to bed everything in. We'll re-bleed all the brakes because obviously I replaced the lines. I also took the rear caliper off and I couldn't wind that one back on the one side, so that's been off. I mean, it feels fine, doesn't feel spongy at all, but I will re-bleed everything to make sure there's no air in there, and I'll give you an update in the future, I guess. But to be fair, for the money, as always, you know, cheap and cheerful. It's an uprated part. It's definitely loads better than the standard road pads. Noticeably better, and they're not even in. I've not even finished with the bedding procedure yet. they hold up to track work's another story. Hopefully we get to test that next year. Looking to get to Santa Pod in March. They've got a French car day type thing there. Take the Twingo down hopefully. I mean, it's months and months away. I've got a lot on between now and then, but hopefully we get down there, see if the Twingo can get into the mid to low 13s, which would be really, really good. And then after that, if it's all still together and in one piece, we might look at getting some extra power in there. No promises yet. It's a bit of a funny one. I want more power, but I don't really want to stress everything too much. I've had a few ideas with for another sort of engine build using pikey parts, scrap parts, things available from Renault, because I like to stick with building things with parts that are easily and readily available. I'm thinking something that should take some power without stressing things too much. Maybe a 225 bottom end, 250 rods and pistons, maybe a 197 head, slap a log manifold on there rather than the, well, you could probably build it with the 225 manifold actually. Twist the turbo, point the outlet around the engine bay rather than over the top. Probably work, but the little turbo probably spin quite hard and fast, especially on Atmo cams. So maybe 197 head, 172 cams, VVT locked out, so I can run it on the standard ECU still. 250 rods and pistons, log manifold, maybe a GT30 of some description, big GT28. Should do 350 brake all day long actually. And with the NA cams and stuff, it should rev higher, bigger turbo, should move everything up. Might be able to go to like 7,000 RPM, should load everything up a little bit less and stress it less. But yeah, we'll see how we go with that. And but yeah, brakes are fantastic. Not bedded in yet. I'll give it a few more miles and report back later. Thanks for watching.